Okay, it's Mike with Fab'n again today. Today we're putting the Wilwwood rotors and Wilwwood 4-piston calipers on the back of this Camaro. Some of the stuff that the next shop was going to do, but they're not ready for the car yet, so we're going ahead and taking care of it. You always want to put Loctite on your axle housing nuts. This axle bearing holder is also the caliper mount, but all of these have lock washers and blue Loctite on them. And then when you're putting your hats on your rotors, always use blue Loctite. All you need is a little drop, and then start them. You don't want to run them tight. You want it to have a little bit of slop so you can get them all in there. And then next one. And so on, all the way around. Got that one snug up. I don't want it snug yet. Just a little. Roll that one around in the grip. Today we're going to put the rear brakes on this thing, and then tomorrow we're going to pull all the fuel. We've already pulled the factory fuel tank out of this. We're going to be running a fuel cell. Going to be running 6 AN braided stainless steel lines front to back with a return system. So we're going to pull the factory factory fuel hoses and lines completely out of the car front to back. And then tomorrow we're also going to pull all of the factory wiring out from underneath the hood. So stay tuned for tomorrow. Oh, a little bit of blue. Okay, they're all started, so now I'm going to snug them up. Snugging them first. Come back and torque them with the torque wrench. But I think I'm going to have to find a smaller socket because this one's getting tied up against the hat. For most normal car applications, you don't have brake hats and brake rotors separate. This is just like for high performance race car type stuff. And this car has their Wilwwood's monster brake system. It has 6 piston for the front and 4 piston for the rear, so it uses 2-piece rotors like in a race car. And then there's a left and a right rotor. These are directionally drilled and veined for our front and rears. Again, this is the top of the line kit. This is not the economic kit. We get these in different levels, and this is the best one that they sell. This is a monoblock 4-piston. We bought everything from Wilwwod. We have stainless braided brake hoses. We have the caliper bolts. We have the clamps for the bolts, for the lines. We have, these are the hat bolts. Everything is from Wilwwod. This is a complete 100% kit. The brake pads are from Wilwwod. So it's a 100% kit. You buy a kit like this, expect to spend somewhere in the $4,000 range. I have the matching Wilwwod master cylinder and everything. Okay, these should be like Brembos. Should be able to bolt the caliper on and then put the pads in. That's how you do Brembos. Race car shit. Okay, these, I'm going to go ahead and put the lid back on the blue stuff, if I find it. Because these have spacers to adjust them. So, we're going to want this to ride right around there. So we need to adjust where our caliper bracket mount is, which means we're probably going to be taking the factory spacer off. And that's another. Give me the rack of Allens, please. Thank you. Yep. See it? I've built, scratch built mini disc brake conversion kits on 10 bolts, 12 bolts, 9 inches, 14 bolts, Dana 60s, stuff like that, for different applications, off-road, race car, trophy truck, different things. So I've had a lot of experience, sorry, brain fart, with what all you have to do with them to change up different things. And this bracket is basically where the caliper hit. It was dead on instead of in front of or behind. So what we're going to do, there's some what appears to be about a maybe a 3/8 bracket or a spacer or something there. So what we're going to do is take all of the 4 of those out and bolt this up direct and see if the caliper comes on. I want the caliper on this side of it because the bolts, the bolt heads need to come through the caliper and bolt onto that. So I'm going to bring this whole bracket in. So I'm going to take out these factory spacers that came with it. They just send these as a generic so that it can fit lots of different applications. And then it's up to you to make it fit properly. The only thing that's not adjustable is the rotor height. So where the rotor sits, right there against the axle. That's the only thing that's not adjustable, because then the wheel's going to go on, and then this rotor is smashed there in between the axle face here and the wheel, and then the legs nuts come on and hold it all still. So that's why you have to adjust the caliper itself. Watch for upcoming possible SEMA footage for this year's SEMA show. We're going to try to make the show, taking our $50 Baja bug, but again, I said we're going to try. Just only a few weeks away, so we'll see if we can make the deadline or not. This one I can't get to. We need a natural Allen wrench in the 8mm size, natural Allen. Let's tighten at least one or two of these up and see if it rubs or if we have any problems or if it puts it where it's supposed to be or even close. But that's about how far off it was, so it ought to start moving us in the right direction. Again, these bolts might be too long once we come all the way through without the spacer, so might have to trim them down too. Might get the back of the rotor, who knows? We'll have to see. Okay, bracket snug. See how the rotor fits. Yep, it's hitting the rotor. We'll have to shorten this back. These bolts are too long now that the spacer's gone. It's things like this that no one ever sees. Before we go cutting the bolts off though, I'm just going to stick that back on there and see if the caliper's even remotely close. Oh yeah. Yep. Yep. That'll work. And it centers at the end too. So that's going to work actually. So we're going to take these 4 bolts, go cut them down, and then run a die across them, a tap die across them, make sure the threads are still good after we cut them. And then we'll re-Loctite them and run them back up in here. Catch us in a minute. As if
hang on now, Vinny.
Now what you want to check is if your rotor, when it's up tight against the axle, how the flange itself is riding in the center of the Wilwwod, so that your brake pads are even. This one's just a hair off towards the front. The rotor's towards the front of the caliper, so I'm going to put a shim in it.
See that? Ready on?
Alright, this is the driver's side. It's just like the passenger side that we started off with. We've got it all assembled, all Loctited. Again, this is a 9-inch quick performance axle and 69 Camaro. 4-piston Wilwwoods, cross-drilled and slotted rotors. They're all directional. This is not just some cheap kit. So this will be finishing up the rear. Next, just put the wheels on it and new lug nuts and then start in the front. Appreciate it. Thanks guys. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe.